Alrighty, live on a Sunday night. See you now at the weekend. Who's already here? Musical Aviator, Megaly Chilio. Although Musical Aviator left that comment a long time ago. Might not still be here. Oof, Sunday night with the martini. Had a bit of ice in it, crunching the ice. Oof, making this with the new Navy Strength rum I got called Juniper Freak. And they said it louches a bit when you dilute it. It gets that cloudy effect. Oh, that's fun. That's such a clean taste. With a splash of my absinthe vermouth. Oh, I mean, obviously, it's an acquired taste. And when people are like, oh, I don't like gin, etc., I get where they're coming from. It's an acquired taste. But, oh, God, that's good. Megalich, one watching yourself. Again, that how many's watching actually doesn't seem to be accurate. So, it's one of those things. Either it is or it isn't accurate. Yes, Megalich, welcome number 2. Whoever that may be. So I don't know if the title of tonight's will attract any Eminem fans or Eminem haters or whatever, but yeah, it was random that I found out that today was Eminem's birthday and he's 49, which is, other people getting older. It weirds me out more than me getting older because I just accept I get older. Chris, hello. No, he's 49, Chris. He'll be 50 next year. He was born in 72. So I said he's almost 50. And that ought to make some people feel old. It's like, a good one for feeling old is how old Macaulay Culkin is. He's 41 now. He was born in 1980. He's just his 41st birthday not long ago. So Megalich confirming it's broken. Chris, your name in caps lock. Nice. Might not look much, but I gave myself a decent serve of a Navy Strength gin in there, which is like 58% alcohol. Woofed. Oh. So Chris, when you were a kid, Eminem's albums. You are younger than Eminem, yes. Was I'm slightly older. Still, I do remember them coming out. I think the first Eminem track I remember seeing was The Real Slim Shady. And the clip sort of had this Brady Bunch reference in it, if I remember rightly. And I thought he was a novelty act, because I'd never heard of him. I didn't know anything about him. I saw him on this Saturday morning music video show, and I thought he was a novelty act. And it was a while before I discovered he was actually a reasonably serious rapper. So there you go. Chris, you like a fancy man? Because I got some new booze arrived yesterday. And I haven't, this is my first proper taste test of this one. I had little sippy sips of each of them from the same maker, a Navy Strength gin and this is an Australian distiller. Their version of a Scandinavian liqueur called aquavit, which is very sort of pine and anise, and to me, it was like reminiscent, very, very minty, almost like toothpaste minty, which doesn't sound like a very flattering thing to say. But Mrs. Angry was having aquavit and tonic all last night, date night. I made her 3 aquavit and tonic. She really liked it. And the other one is their version of Jennifer, who Jennifer's like the progenitor to gin. It's pre-gin. Like the English version of gin was actually anglicizing Geneva, which is a Dutch spirit. Yeah, it's interesting too. Abigail, June memes that aren't spoilers, hard to find. Megaleech, aquavit is obviously water of life, but I find it amazing how many different cultures have a spirit they call water of life. Aquavit is Scandinavian. Whiskey is Guelga for water of life. Oiskebaha is water of life. And the English couldn't pronounce that, so started calling it whiskey. And there are old documents from England referring to buying the whiskey from Scotland or Ireland, and they refer to it as the water of life. And the French have a term as well, which again translates as water of life. Eau de vie. I looked it up. Eau de vie. Yeah. So there are a remarkable number of cultures that have a spirit, an alcoholic spirit, that they refer to as the water of life. Read into that what you will. Just that different cultures in Europe, certainly, have regarded drinking alcohol as important enough to call a spirit they have the water of life. Chris, grabbing some food. Good plan, my man. It's always a good plan to get some food at appropriate times. I had my meal replacement bar between June Club and now. Yeah, and life continues. So, yeah, young Mr. Angry is back in the house. He spends 2 weeks at his mum's and then 2 weeks here, and he's come back, and we have a bunch of stupid games we play. And he got me again. I was listening to watching and listening to a live stream on YouTube earlier, and I had headphones on and the volume was reasonably loud. And he does this thing, particularly when he can see I've got headphones on, or even just if I'm absorbed in what's on a screen, he'll come up really quietly behind me until he's right behind me. And then he'll sort of lean over my shoulder and put his face closer and closer until it gets into my peripheral vision and makes me go, ah! It was like one of the first things he did when he was back in the house today. He did that to me. And we have a couple of other silly jokes as well. Hey, Safa. So I got 2 weeks of our weird back and forth games. Actually, it's probably about time I put the plastic dog poo in his bed again. That was one we did for a while. An American friend, friend through YouTube, she sent me this bunch of stuff. It was like Halloween a couple of years ago, a bunch of American Halloween candy, and there was this giant plastic dog shit. And when you just look at it, it's like if it's a dog shit, it's done by a really fucking huge dog. And it doesn't look even remotely convincing when you first look at it. But if you put it somewhere, the first moment you see it, it looks real. It's just like, oh my God, there's a massive shit on my bed. And then you go, wait, no, why would there be a massive shit on my bed? It's the plastic one. So yeah, there was a period a while back where we would just be putting it like in each other's beds or in places. And the classic was to put it under the sheet so you don't see it when you immediately go in the room, and like pull a sheet back to get in bed, and there's a shit in my bed. A fun one was to sneak it in when the other person's asleep and put it on their pillow next to their head, so they wake up with a shit right next to their face. Fun and games. Fun and games. So, yes, that's the sort of things that happen in my house. Hey, Justin, how are you going? Hope the weekends treated you well. Rolling into a Monday. If Monday is any different to you than the weekend, I know it's not for everyone. But you know, it's an arbitrary separation, weekend and weekday. More meaningful to some than others. I'm going to back to work, so I'm going to have a drinky or two this evening, and just because I'm in the mood. Not a lot though, because I do have work tomorrow, and I usually shape up fine after doing drinkies, but you know, why risk it, really? So I'll have one or two drinkies tonight, but nothing particularly excessive. I was actually thinking, you know what I haven't made in a long time is a whiskey sour, which is one of my favorite drinks. I feel like I haven't made a whiskey sour in ages. I might make a whiskey sour just for something to do tonight, given that I have a couple of whiskies. So after I drove through Yakandanda, well, that's slightly more adventurous than my day. I only left the house to go for a walk around the park. That was my only time out of the house today. Which again, strictly speaking, is all I'm meant to do. Or, you know, one trip to the supermarket for essentials. But I didn't feel like going to the supermarket today. So my one time out the house today was a walk. But as of midnight Thursday, no reason to stay at home. Nice. Oh no, Nettie, wish you could stop feeling old. Been feeling old since you were 17. You're not old, Nettie. Okay, just saying it. You're not old. But I know what you mean about the psychological feeling. Safa Friday in Vic this week. Yeah. Yes. And so, yes, the late night license places in the CBD are definitely going to open at midnight. You know, a lot of places have 2, 3, or even 5 a.m. licenses in the city. They're definitely going to open at midnight. I'm not going out. I'm not going out. In fact, I probably won't go out for a little while. I think this weekend, this Friday night and Saturday night in the CBD are probably going to be off the hook, yo. I just think it's going to be huge crowds and chaos. Probably really stressful for the venues that are open, because they'll probably have really angry people who want to come in and can't because of limitations in numbers. And that's the thing. A lot of the CBD venues are indoor only, and for the small numbers they're allowed initially, it might not be worth their opening. But I don't know. We'll see. So, for how much more expensive is a 5 a.m. license? I don't know. I think there are a couple of things that determine the cost of a liquor license. One is probably the terms of the license, like age, but another one's the size of the venue, which is why we've got so many small venues in Melbourne, because they changed the licensing laws to make a license for a small venue very cheap. And Nettie, you got Friday lunch booked? Looking forward to watching it all from the safety of your building. Yep. I imagine you are going to have noisy Friday and Saturday night. Possibly like Friday post midnight. Friday morning post midnight. Might suddenly get noisy, but Oh, okay. I'm really enjoying that martini. Oh, I like the Never Never products. Actually, maybe I'll make a sour with the Geneva because that's like related to whiskey. It's halfway between whiskey and gin, essentially, which is very interesting. Um, if you're a tragic like me who's gotten to be a booze nerd, the fact that there's this spirit that's kind of a midpoint between whiskey and gin is really interesting. Uh, Geneva's virtually moonshine, basically. It's the base is a malt wine or a malt liquor, which is like the first stage of whiskey, but instead of the redistilling and then aging that whiskey goes through, it's redistilled with some botanicals and not aged, uh, which is why I say it's halfway between gin and whiskey. Um, it's kind of moonshine. Not quite, because I think it's double distilled, but it's not aged. To the best of my knowledge, it's not aged. Uh, all of which is, just sort of wanky talk for, I want to drink some alcohol, justifying it. It's like, yeah, I've read stories before where, and this is usually guys, it's not solely guys, usually guys who are alcoholics get into spirits, particularly whiskey, because you can be a real wanker about whiskey and act like it's an intellectual exercise to be drinking whiskey. And they learn all the talk about whiskey and do all this stuff to sound really sophisticated when they drink it. But mostly they get into whiskey for efficiency, just to get pissed faster than drinking beer. Uh, which is not good. It's not. It's not good, and that's why it's like Friday night's my only binge night. And in fact, doctors would fucking hate what I do. Quite honestly, saying like, you know, how many nights a week do you drink alcohol? Like 3 or 4, 5 some weeks. Ooh, that's not good. How often do you drink to excess? And I go, I don't know. What's excess? And then they go like, more than 3 standard drinks. And I'm going, oh, 3 standard drinks. Ugh. Do you ever binge drink? I don't know. Friday nights, often, if I start adding up the number of standard drinks on a Friday night, I'm like, yikes. But the fact I can comfortably have alcohol-free days, nights, without feeling twitchy about it, uh, makes me feel okay about it. And like I said, that the drink cart's there, my workstation is there. More than 18 months working from home, sitting right next to that stuff, which I really like. I really like my beverages there. Never had a drink during the day. So I feel pretty comfortable. That's all I'm saying. Safa, 3 ciders last night. Was that binge drinking? Depends how big they were. If they were little size, not binge drinking. If they were big ones, that would classify as binge drinking. Because yes, 3 ciders is a very imprecise measure. The Megaleech, drink to success. Yes, I don't drink to excess. I drink to success. Who's Cess? Sorry, that's a terrible old joke that I remember. Someone following the road to success, and they get there, and there's just this guy with his dick out saying, "Hi, I'm Cess." Safa again, glass bottle. What is it? Is it 375 mils? Is it 500 mils? Is it 750 mils? Cider sold in all those. And what alcohol content is the cider? Depending who makes it, bottled cider can be anywhere from 3 to 10% alcohol. Very, very. That's a very big spectrum of standard. What you want to know, actually, for fun, let's look it up. What is binge drinking? What's defined as binge drinking? A pattern of drinking that brings your blood alcohol concentration to 0.08 or above. That's for men, that's typically 5 or more standard drinks, 4 or more standard drinks in 2 hours. Yeah, in other words, okay, 5 or more standard drinks. So you're asking, see, Safa, a bottle of cider could be anywhere from 1 to 2 standard drinks. Okay. And if you drank it in 2 hours, and if they were 2 or more standard drinks each, and you drank that in 2 hours, that would classify with these quite conservative health guidelines as binge drinking. But if they were less than 2 standard drinks, or you took more than 2 hours to drink them, it wouldn't classify as binge drinking. Justin, what do I predict will happen now? Start open up. I would be very surprised if New South Wales does not have just a absurd surge in cases. That would be extremely surprising, because that's what's happened around the world. It's not necessarily going to happen, but if I was putting money on something, I would put money on New South Wales having a really significant surge in cases. What we're hoping with our rapidly escalating levels of vaccination is even a surge in cases means fewer people in hospital and far fewer people in intensive care and far fewer people dying. That's what we hope. And that's, we've got to get to a new normal, because, not forgetting, a lot of people used to die from flu deaths. In fact, I want to look up flu deaths, say 2018. Australian flu statistics. Overall burden of flu for 2018 estimated at 29 million cases, 13 million physical, 380,000 hospitalizations, 28,000 flu deaths. So that's the US. So go back to good old Johns Hopkins COVID map. Come on, load. We haven't looked at you for a while. Okay. Still not loading, getting lots of spinny things. So shit. Okay, in 28 days, in the last 20, okay, so the entire flu season, 2018, 2019, 29 million cases, 13 million medical visits, 380,000 hospitalizations, 28,000 flu deaths. That's 28,000 flu deaths in a whole year in the US. Last 28 days in the US has had 50,000 COVID deaths. So what does that make? How much more deadly than the flu is COVID? That's double in a month. That's 50 times. COVID's 50 times deadlier than the flu. But I think we're moving to a point where that rate of annual deaths from COVID is going to be normal. We're just going to go, oh, well, you know what? That's just how many people are going to die. edX, what do I think of quarantine? What do you mean by quarantine? Do you really mean to ask what I think of lockdown? Because quarantine, as in keeping people in a quarantine situation so they don't spread COVID, has been shithouse. Hasn't been a thing. Oh, yeah. Justin, Singapore opened up with 80% vaccination and had a surge in cases, but we'll see what happens. It's mostly water with a faint martini flavor in it. The ice melting. Safi, you reckon you're going to self-lockdown to not have contact because of 42 COVID cases? I have very little contact with, I have very little close contact with the outside world. Yeah, probably be a little while before I go to the cinema. I don't think I'll be going to the cinema before November, put it that way. Oh, that's not even that far away. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do in regards to going out and places in close places with recirculated air. I don't know what I'm going to do. Just I'm in no rush to decide. Essentially, we'll just see what happens. Essentially, yeah. Que sera, sera, as the saying goes. Speaking of binge drinking, I'm going to drink some more alcohol. I think I'm going to make a sour with my Jennifer because I'm really interested in how that will come out. Made an old fashioned with it last night and it was friggin' awesome. So, just good. I think I put my cocktail shaker in the dishwasher. In fact, I did. All right. Okay. Cocktail shaker. Cocktail shaker. Well, I put it in an elegant. I think I'll put it in this glass. I think I'll use fresh ice to shake. I'm going to use that old ice to chill my glass a bit while I prepare. Yes, Arthur, the world's scary. I agree. Okay, which one's Jennifer? This one? Get some lemon juice because I'm making a sour. And lemon juice, and I might use this syrup just for fun. Once in a while. Oh yeah, Chris, for the unvaxxed, Rona is going to remain deadly. Oh, you got a veggie burger. Nice. Justin, you got to work from home till quarantine restrictions. I'm going to work at home for as long as I can because I just fucking love working from home. We'll see how long it takes for them. I don't think they're going to start applying any significant pressure on us to return to the office this year. We'll see. So, when you think when Australia's 100% double vax, you're getting your third jab? I don't think any decisions been made about boosters. Boosters are definitely going to happen, probably in the next 6 months for the general populace. They'll happen sooner for frontline medical staff. Yeah, I don't think there's been a decision making. Oh, no, Chris made your own veggie burger. Nice. All right, so Geneva. Yeah, they're these neat little 500 ml bottles. Oh man, this stuff smells really good. If you like the smell of booze. They're limited edition. They call Dark Series. So Chris, your mum and girlfriend have them. You're in high risk. You get yours in January. There you go. Nettie, some people in Sydney compromised immunity have been getting third booster already. Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that, but I haven't been paying that much attention. Oh, I need the foamy stuff too. Where's my Wonder Foam? I'm making a sour and I want it to be foamy. I almost forgot my Wonder Foam. So it can't be. Oh no, we actually don't have any eggs. So I can't be bothered cracking an egg for the egg white. But we actually don't have any, so it's lucky I got Wonder Foam. About half a dozen drops of Wonder Foam. Now, first, the dry shake. Doesn't make much noise, just a tiny bit of ASMR. Just got to give it a really good shake to get the foaming happening. Oof, that's my work. Oh, yep, that looks foamy. Now, some ice. This will be noisier. A wet shake. which honestly sounds somewhat sexual, but right. Do this. The metal shaker is shaking. It's like, well, shake it until it gets uncomfortably cold to hold. And that's like to the point of hurting my hands. So I'm chilling that glass, tip that ice out, strain my sour into the glass. Ooh, it's nice and pink because of my syrup. Classy. Very classy. Right. And because I'm going to do any excuse to have one of my cherries, I'm going to put a cherry in this. A couple of drops of Angostura on the top. Safra, I think you sent me that thing about certain brand of CPAP machines getting recalled ages ago. It's not the one I have, so it's all good. All right, want my skewer. Draw patterns in the foam with my skewer. It's actually quite pretty. Where's my cherry? I feel very classy doing this. Ooh! I thought I had a cherry. It's like a little game trying to. Oh, I got one. Third go. Skewered a cherry. I actually feel quite classy with this drink. It looks pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Look how good the foam is on that. It's sort of light peach pink color. I feel very classy. Do you know the reason to drink cocktails? Irish comedian Blind Boy, whose podcast I like, referred to drinking cocktails as like mindful drinking, because particularly if you go to a venue, you pay much more for a cocktail than a beer or a shot of spirits or something. So you're going to tend to not just knock it back. You're going to savor it because you paid a lot for it. And so you enjoy the flavors. I should have taken a photo. That looks freaking great. But now I know this looks good. There's another one I might make for my cocktail channel. But anyway. Wow. That's really good. Oh, wow. I know, again, my taste, I think it's got the stage where I like less citrus in my drinks than is often recommended in the recipe. Make my drink less acidic. And that's just a personal taste thing. But the taste of my syrup's coming through, the lemon juice, that is just generally quite good. I haven't seen that, Megaleech. Hungry Jack's in Australia giving Macca's the finger with a Big Jack, a clone of the Big Mac. Then at Burger King. Okay, yeah. In the US, Chris says they've been doing that and calling it the Big King. Oh, Megaleech they had a variant called Outlaw Big Jack. It was awesome. Had peppercorn sauce. I have to admit, I have a weak point for the Hungry Jack's double bacon cheeseburger. Very unhealthy, but oh my god. Eating congealed animal fats has never tasted as good as a Hungry Jack's double bacon cheeseburger. It's just like, as eating it, I know this is really bad for me as I eat it. But there's two new burger places opened in my neighborhood. both of them are part of a small chain. They're different chains. Probably going to try both of them out over the next week or so. So, doesn't taste like alcohol. What alcohol content is this? Alcohol content 43%. And there's 2 shots in there. So, oh no, so that's 2 standard drinks. Chris, did we get the bacon Sunday burger you had? Impossible Whoppers. I haven't. The Impossible Whopper is one of the artificial meat ones, yeah? I'm yet to have an artificial meat burger. I'm thinking of it. Ads, you have not been in Melbourne for a long time if it's called Burger King, because that was only, and that was also only for a short time, because the saga, which I'll quickly recount for those who don't know it, is Burger King went to open a franchise in Australia, and they found out someone with like 1 store had registered the business name Burger King in Australia, and under Australian law, they owned that. And Burger King said, "Guess the name," and he said, "No." And they said, "Go on, we'll buy it." And then he said some ridiculous figure, like $100 million, and they said, "Fuck off." And they opened the chain here under the name Burger King. And so it went for a while. And then there was a period, it was a while ago, it was like 15, somewhere between 15 and 20 years ago. Somehow the American Burger King chain got control of the name Burger King in Australia again. And instead of doing a deal with the existing Hungry Jack's franchise owners, they just opened competing stores called Burger King. And the franchisees went, "You can't do that. You can't compete with us. It's the whole thing with our franchise agreement that we paid a fucking fortune for." And Burger King just went, "Oh, we're a big fucking company. How are you going to stop us?" And the franchisees went, "Oh, I'll take you to court, I guess." And it was an open and shut case. Burger King was in the wrong. The franchisees were in the right. Franchisees win. Burger King goes, "No, we're a big company. We're going to appeal." And so they appealed and went to a high court. And they lost that, and they appealed, and basically they ran out of appeals because it was ridiculous. They were 100% in the wrong. They should never have done it. They should have cut a deal with existing Burger King franchisees where the name changed. They should have cut a deal with existing Hungry Jack's franchisees where the name transitioned to Burger King, but they didn't, and they thought they could fuck franchisees over, and they lost. So fuck them. So there are no Burger Kings in Australia anymore. So... Oh, so you've tried them both, Megalich? Can Hungry Jack's fake meats better than McDonald's? Okay. Big Bad Ads, you haven't been to Melbourne since 2009. Yep, okay, that would make sense. Because the case dragged on for a couple of years, but Burger King were always going to lose. It was ridiculous that they did it. It was this huge arrogance of an international company that said, "Oh, we don't have to honor contracts. We're a big multinational. We can do whatever the fuck we want." And they can't, as it turns out. They should never have done the bullshit they did. They should have just cut a deal with the Hungry Jack's franchisees, but they didn't. Yes. Chris was suing a large company for being fucked. Sounds like freedom. I think the big company had a different version of freedom, as in their freedom to do whatever they want. And they were extremely shocked when Australian courts said, no, it doesn't work that way. So, bit of a lesson for them, honestly. Bit of a lesson for them. They probably lost a fuck ton of money doing that, and they never had to. They didn't have to lose anything. They should have just acted in an honorable way. But they're a big fucking multinational. These people don't believe in acting honorably. Scumbags, all of them. So, yeah, they lost big time. But yeah, there was a brief period where we had Burger King in Australia. Lasted a couple of years, I think. Chris, tomorrow, girlfriend Megan's birthday. Happy birthday, Megan, for tomorrow. So early birthday from the other side of the world, because it's probably already your birthday here. Justin, it's not so much that they didn't realize Australia is not the same as the US, because I think they would have lost the same court case in the US. They just believed they were above the law. Because basically what they did is blatantly breach a contract agreement, a written contract with a string of franchisees. They just thought they were above the law. I think they would have faced the same judgment. Context-wise, it wouldn't have happened in the US, but that same sort of breach of contract in the US would probably fuck you up as well. Ads, you remember Burger King in Tweed Heads a while ago? There were a few of them. For a while, there were a few Burger Kings. But then it went away. Kirsten Hellion, hello. You might be interested in this, Kirsten. It's almost gone now. I made myself a sour using Never Never's Jennifer, their version of the Dutch spirit Geneva, which is good. I also made an old-fashioned with that last night, which was very good. It's good, basically. Abigail, designing something for Sons, will new Scorpion tank, 3D printing it. 3 different pieces of software. God damn. Good question, Justin. Why is Wendy's? There's a bunch of quite successful US burger chains that either have made no attempt to be in Australia or have just done limited things. Like Five Guys did some special pop-ups a couple of times. But who knows why they don't do it? Yes. Chris, I think that was where they fell down. They couldn't hear the Aussies complaining over the Star Spangled Banner playing at IMAX volume. I think that they didn't realize. Megaleech, they just got removed. Because I know a couple of the Burger Kings that opened were actually on previous Hungry Jack's sites. So I think some of them have gone all together. Some might be Hungry Jack's now. I don't know the intricate details. I just know the freaking lost. Chris, you don't like Five Guys? I've just heard of them. I don't know anything about them. But we have enough independent and small chain burger places here. Justin, Taco Bell, a very small number of Taco Bells have opened in the last couple of years. I know there's one on Chapel Street. There's been one on Chapel Street for a couple of years, and maybe only 2. But yes, I think there are a small number of Taco Bells in Australia now. But yeah, I don't know. We have sort of bougie burger places in every suburb here, just local independent ones. Like just within like a 1 suburb radius of me, there's probably at least 6 bougie burger places. I'm probably understating it. I'm trying to know one just my favorite one just closed. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's at least 6 bougie burger places like with 1 suburb radius of where I live. Probably more. It was a nice sound, wasn't it? It's my glass hitting my metal jigger. It's like I'm calling someone to the table. And we're going, Okay, my sour was really nice. Not least because of my neat and clarified syrup I used. It's time 8:44. Chris, is there a Freedom Burger place? Probably. I know there's certainly the last 5 or so years, there's been a trend of people doing stuff that's very much in the style of southern US barbecue. And some of them are quite good. Oh, Kirsten, you had Never Never Festival for your birthday yesterday. Nice, and happy birthday for yesterday as well. Yeah, the 3-pack of Never Never I ordered arrived yesterday. Surprise weekend delivery. So it was the Jennifer, which is their version of the Dutch Geneva, their version of Aquavit, which they call Stockholm Syndrome, which I think is hilarious, and their Navy Strength Juniper Freak gin. And I'd made a Juniper Freak martini to start off, which was very good. The Jennifer makes a good sour and makes a good old-fashioned. And Mrs. Angry was drinking Aquavit and tonic all last night for date night. I made her 3 Aquavit and tonic. She really liked it. Fox, you sent me something funny on Facebook. Facebook funnies from Fox. That's a triple F. I have to see it. Fox's Facebook funnies. Jesus, why have I got so many fucking Facebook notifications? I thought I looked just before I came on here. Oh God, for my angry Aussie page, Facebook says, you're missing a phone number for your page. Add ones that people can reach. Get fucked. Oh, what do I got? Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, Facebook, fuck off. Fuck off, fuck off. Oh, no wonder I've got so many notifications, because 8 of them are bullshit Facebook things trying me to fucking do other things. Okay. Right. Okay, Fox, if you sent me something on Facebook, I can't see it. Wait, I'm loading messages. Did you send it as a message? Oh, what the fuck? No, fucking Facebook, seriously. Jesus. Facebook fucking sucks balls, for reals. The desktop thing, like the browser version of Facebook just lately has been fucked. Oh, right. Yes, Fox sent me the thing about the comedian Dan Ilick paying for a billboard in Times Square, trying to embarrass Scott Morrison. Yeah, not bad. Ooh, nice. Kirsten, you got to taste Never Never's new unreleased gin. I'm betting you liked it, being the gin aficionado that you are. I'm a fan. I do not regret for a second having bought the Juniper Freak and the Jennifer and the Aquavit, because they're all good. They're all good. And they're neat little 500ml bottles, a little stopper. I might keep at least one of these when they're empty, because it's a good size and they're a nice simple bottle. Yeah. Let's see. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I will run a, as I say, Mrs. Angry was really into the Aquavit and tonic. When I tasted the Aquavit, which is kind of a cousin to gin as well, honestly, lots of botanicals, I thought the first thing occurred to me was mint, even though there's no mint in it. And then I let the taste sort of go down, and I realized that's more like sort of piney and anise, which is in Aquavit. But it made me think of mint, like, as the aftertaste is not in a bad way, but the aftertaste is almost like mint toothpaste. Very piney, very anise. So it's good. It's good. It's all good. Just gonna put this one back. Don't know if I'm going to have another drink. Just get this out of the way. Man, sometimes the Wonder Foam makes really good foam. I think I would like that if I used slightly less lemon juice in it. Justin, you're saying running ads on Facebook is annoyingly hard, and yet scammers manage it quite well. I'm appalled at the number of outright scams that get advertised. I think I spilled some sticky stuff here. I'm just going to get a cloth to wipe the sticky stuff. Kirsten, you thought it was funny. Someone's released exactly the same thing. Sorry, what are we referring to there? Exactly the same thing. Um, ugh. All right. So, on speaking of releasing things, Kirsten, I think you would know the answer to this because we get the same Tiny Bear Distillery emails, and their Christmas gins or summer gins are out again, which I'm tempted to get again because they're very good. Just the little sample ones. I've still got one of them a year later. But they also said they were going to release a whiskey, a single malt whiskey. You might know this, Kirsten. Have Tiny Bear released a whiskey before? And if so, was it any good? Oh, okay. You're talking about gin. Yes, of course, because Archie, you released the revamped gin and vodka. I still have quite a bit of my bone dry, which again, never Juniper Freak makes a good martini. Archie Rose bone dry, excellent martini. So yeah. Got to pick it together. Yeah, because I'm gonna need to buy a new rye whiskey soon because I'm almost out of my gospel rye. So I have to decide. And I know you've recommended one, Kirsten's from a smaller distillery, which is a little bit pricey. It's not necessarily going to stop me from getting something when it's a little bit pricey, but I've got to get another Australian. Actually, what shows up on if I do a search on Australian rye whiskey? The Gospel, of course. Oh, here we go. The whiskey list. Top 10 rye whiskies in Australia. They're American. I want Australian rye whiskies, you fucking idiot. Archie, of course, which I've had in the past. Here we go. Another one saying Australian rye whiskey. What do we got here? Belgrove. Was that the one you were telling me to get? I'm not sure. Heartwood. Go away, stop with the pop-ups. Archie, which I've had. Tiger Snake rye whiskey. Okay. Oh, it wasn't an Archie product, just one of the little guys. Fair enough. Okay, so Kirsten, they've made a good whiskey. Okay, so I'm waiting because Tiny Bear said they would have a new whiskey out before Christmas, and I might do like one order to save on delivery costs. And I think weren't they saying they were going to do a barrel aged gin as well? Backwards. Thank you, Kirsten. That's what you were recommending. Backwood rye whiskey. Shazam, you all. Wait, don't they have their own website? I'm just getting all these retailers. I'd rather, if I'm going to do it, buy it directly. There you go, Backwoods Distilling. That's what we want. Oh, they look like a cute couple in the picture there. Okay, They make whiskey and gin. High Country Gin, rye whiskey, batch for. Actually, Jesus. Okay, that's okay. Now I know why I didn't buy it immediately when you recommended, because that's a bit pricey. That's a challenge. That's a challenge for me. Tiger snake is expensive and nasty. Okay, well I will avoid expensive and nasty. Honestly, it only has to be expensive to put me off. Um, that backwoods is a bit pricey, and I trust you that it's good. Um, it's just part of me is like, oh, I don't know, it's a bit pricey. I enjoyed the gospel limited edition so much. Their Blackheart and Sparrow collaboration. I just want them to release another limited edition barrel strength, because it was friggin' good. And they've got an Amaro now too. I don't need another Amaro. I'm that big into Amaro. They do little pre-bottled cocktails, a Boulevardier, Manhattan, an old-fashioned, and a Sazerac. I was kind of glad their limoncello sold out straight away, because I was going, ooh, do I want to get that or not? And they were sold out, so it took the stress off me. Okay, so Kirsten, you reckon Backwoods is really worth it? I don't know where. God, I was just looking at them. Where are they located again? Visit us. Where are they based? Victorian High Country, Yakandanda. So you know where I do that? When we're allowed to travel, I'd book a weekend away in the High Country with Mrs. Angry and visit the Blackwoods distillery and maybe buy a bottle when I was actually physically there. So that's what I might do. Actually, that's what I might do, because of lockdown and bullshit. Mrs. Angry and I haven't had a weekend away in a long time. I'm like, because there's a place we particularly like in the High Country. To see if it's within driving distance of Yakandanda. Oh yes, I remember saying it. Nettie dropped in at Patient Wolf today. It is in Yakandanda. Okay, so I have to remember what the name of this place was where we stayed in the High Country. Okay, I need. I'm going to look on maps, because the place we stayed was in an old mining place called Valhalla. Not Valhalla with a V, like the Vikings say, but with a W. So how far apart are Yakandanda and, well, Jesus, they're in completely. They're, oh my god. Okay, Yakandanda's up in the fucking snowfields. Okay, okay. Okay, so that's like a 4-hour drive from my place to Yakandanda, which again, not unreasonable. No, No, it keeps giving me Melbourne hotels. I don't want Melbourne hotels. I'm sure they have like Yak and Dander bed and breakfasts. I like staying at Yak and bed and breakfast. We like bed and breakfast places. Jesus, $300 a night. What the fuck? Oh yeah. Motels for 100 to 150. Maybe I'll talk Mrs. Angry into doing a weekend away to Yak and Dander. Who knows? Who knows? Nettie, Walhalla's cool. Walhalla, and we had these like alpine cabin just outside Walhalla. We went there in autumn when it's cold but not brutally cold, and we'd have a fucking fire and stuff. Yes, Safa, no travel between Melbourne and Regional Vic yet, but you know, maybe in I don't know, high country might be a nice if there's no bushfires. Might be a nice place to go in like January when it's really fucking hot here. Go to the high country where it'll be cooler. Maybe I'll talk Mrs. Angry into going to Yak and Dander in like about January or something. Who knows? Who knows indeed? So does Precursive IT work with Google Home? I don't even know what that sentence means. I don't use any of those spy devices because they creep me out. I think I switched off Siri listening to me on the phone, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I trust Apple either. Yeah, I don't know what sort of bushfire season we're expecting this summer. This spring appears to have a lot of rain in it, which might make it too green for many bushfires in summer, but the rain could stop suddenly and everything could dry out, which would create a lot of fuel for bushfires, which would be bad. I don't know. I don't know what the expectation for this bushfire season is. I haven't heard that a bad bushfire season's being expected. But given the government department I'm working for at the moment, I will probably hear if a bad bushfire season is expected. So we shall see what happens, I guess. Yes, Safar, I think we're under the influence of La Nina at the moment, which means more rain than average. And we're certainly, this spring is a reasonable amount of rain. Yeah, I haven't heard that a bad bushfire season is expected. We'll see. We'll see what happens because the high country can be susceptible. No, Safra, I don't work for emergency. I just work for a government department that has active involvement in bushfires. But then again, a bunch of government departments have active involvement in bushfires because the fire services are all government. So there's that. And I'm right on that temptation point. Like, do I make another drink that involves the alcohol, or do I just drink some water for the next hour? Maybe some water. I don't know. Just because I'm not actually drunk at the moment, so I feel like maybe another drink. I don't know. Looking at on top of the booze at the Gospel Distillery, they have T-shirts and the logo is just TG. But there's an embroidered patch that says the Gospel, and I feel like if I put that on a shirt, I'd be attracting Christians and giving them false hope. I do have the gospel metal lapel pin, but it's tiny and people can't see it. And I got 2 of them. It's going to do swapsies with Kirsten, actually. Shieldsy would say water. True. I'm definitely going to drink some water, and I've drunk some water up to this point. You know what? I was thinking a gimlet with Poor Tom's Pina Colada. Maybe with one of my weird syrups. Okay. Default recipe for a gimlet cocktail. Gin, lime juice, simple syrup. Okay, I am going to do gin and my syrup. That's like shaky, shaky, I think, isn't it? Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Maybe like a gimlet old-fashioned stirrer, rather. Yeah. I might do like a gimlet, and I've got some lime bitters. Fuck yeah, I'm going to do like a gimlet old-fashioned. Because I'm crazy. Suffer drinking Metz's hard orange with mandarin yuzu. That actually sounds pretty good. Mega Leech, I did have text conversations with AIDSy yesterday. He's saying, "Oh, you're doing a stream?" And I was going, "When I was date night Saturday night." I thought we might hear from him tonight. So I might re-follow up with him on Tuesday to see if he wants to come up on the Tuesday stream. All right. So, a little glass. Lime bitters. Poor Tom Pina Colada gin. I'm going to do this as an old fashioned and a block of ice. Block O ice. Okay. So, Poor Tom Pina Colada gin. It's one of the ones I bought from the Woolies bottle shop in QV, just because they had this whole shelf with outrageous specials on, like 25, 30+% off. And I had no intention of buying anything from them, but I was like, that's a really good special. I'm not letting that pass me by. And so I got a couple of Australian gins I wouldn't have otherwise got because they were on these radical specials. Right. Syrup. It's going to be a little bit red because of my blood orange syrup. And lime bitters. Not much comes out of that. There you go. That's probably enough. And I'm going to do the unsophisticated finger stir. Just get that stir action happening. I actually have the stirrer Nettie gave me for Christmas. I could have used that instead of the finger-shaped stirrer. I use my own finger. They are good. There's this one. The two I got were the Poor Tom's Pina Colada gin, which I'm using now. And the other one was the Something Wines gin. And they're both quite good. And they were like 25, they're quarter to third off. They're great. Oh, yes. Mega Leech, were you asking me or Safa out of interest? Kirsten, oh no, what do you do? What are you worried about, Kirsten? So this is very faintly pink because of my blood orange syrup. Oh god, that's good. Oh my god, that's really good. Yeah, the special Woolies gins, they were pretty good. This one, it's interesting. They call it Pina Colada gin. Uh, Portom's most controversial tropical incursion into our fair harbour since the docking of the Ruby Princess. Pineapple and coconut, infamously hard to distill, on an unprecedented paradise sojourn with juniper, lime, pandan, nutmeg, allspice, and many more. Celebrate the end of the world. We've released a mere 5,000 bottles, making this gin as rare as a polar bear, more ephemeral than Antarctica. This is from 2020. And just, it's just got a really light aroma. And in this is basically a gin old fashioned that I've made. Oh, fuck, it's pretty fucking good. Oh no. Kirsten, a gin person reposted an Avi Yemeni tweet. How receptive are they going to be to you saying, Avi Yemeni is a fascist and a convicted wife beater? Do you really want to be sort of retweeting, reposting something from someone who is an actual fascist and convicted of violently assaulting his partner? Just a question: is that someone you want to be associated with? Can you say to them gently, you may not be aware of this guy and his history, but he has actively associated with and advocated for fascists, and he has a conviction for violently assaulting his domestic partner. He is a bad person. Because they might not know. They might not know that about him. So to get this poor Tom's, and that's it. The story. The story is a winery, and they made a gin with all Australian botanicals. It's drier than the Poor Tom's Pina Colada. It's nice. But yeah, they were both good buys. Like I said, because they were like, I don't know, quarter to a third off. Well worth the experiment when you're saving, $25-$30 on something. And I don't regret it. Which just reminds me, next time I'm fucking in the city, I am going to have to check out that bottle shop to see if they have some weird random specials. It's kind of like, again, most of what I buy these days is Australian, but a different Woolies bottle shop I was in last week had a rum called Black Seal, Gosling's Black Seal, which normally retails in Australia for $75-$80 a bottle. And they would just go, we've got it, it's $50. And I'm like, seriously? And I wasn't going to buy more rum, but it's like, when it is a 1/3 off, it's just like, oh, fuck it, I'm getting it. And I did make a drink with it the other night. It was quite nice. But yeah. Okay, that's a bit of a winner. I like that, Safi. Your sister took your mum to Eminem in Melbourne a few years ago. Nice. I don't know what he's like as a live performer, actually. I don't know how much has Eminem released in the last, 5 years. I don't pay that much attention to him. I was probably more into what Eminem was doing like 10 or 15 years ago. Because I'm old. I actually don't pay much attention at all to international hip hop and rap stuff. I pay more attention to Australian hip hop and rap stuff. An exception would be Run the Jewels. I really like Run the Jewels. I think they do very good stuff. Killer Mike and the white guy, whatever his stage name is. I always forget the white guy's stage name. But because I also remember the doco series Killer Mike did for Netflix, which was quite interesting. Abigail, your second favorite thing about lockdown curfew ending this week, fast food and supermarkets will be open after 9. Actually, yeah, the no curfew is good. The no curfew thing is good. Oh, yeah, that's the right thing to say, Kirsten. He's a fascist and a convicted wife beater. You may think the tweet is funny, but don't endorse the guy. And again, yeah, I think you could give the person the benefit of the doubt and say, you may not know that guy is a fucking fascist and convicted of quite extreme domestic abuse. So, yeah, bad person. Very bad person. And it's great without context. You can be lulled into, and I've done it. I've certainly seen something that someone posted something, go, "That's funny, lol," and then someone told me something about the person that I've just sort of retweeted or reposted or whatever, saying they were funny, and they went, "Oh, you know this about them?" And I went, "No, I don't know that about them. Now I do." Music Gravity been here from your own flight sim stream, complete with trolls this week. See, you know you're alive when trolls. Oh God, which reminds me, I did mention on another stream the sad boy, the sad troll had posted another fucking essay length fucking wine, which was inadvertently funny. Like, it's funny in ways this fuckwit doesn't realize he's funny. And also because it's really long and whatnot. And YouTube automatically blocked it. So no one except me ever saw it. Because YouTube goes, well, this looks fucked. I'm not letting this go through. If anyone is interested, I could read it. I probably wouldn't read the stuff that's just slurs, but there's some very funny stuff that highlights just how lacking in self-awareness this fuckwit is. And hello, Greg, by the way. Oh, Abigail, did you not know Musical Aviator does flight sim streams? That's a big thing, yes. Oh, yeah, Kirsten. So the gin person was being vocal about Aboriginal deaths in custody, so they might not know. Yeah, if there was a way to gently say to the person, you may not know, but this dude, bad person, not mildly bad person, extremely bad person. Like, again, a Jewish guy who, because actual Nazis, and by actual Nazis, I mean people who love and revere Adolf Hitler and have swastika tattoos, he sided with them because they were anti-Muslim. And he tries to pretend that never happened, but there is documentary evidence of him hanging out with, endorsing, and validating neo-Nazis. And I don't use that term lightly. Again, the people he supported were people who actively applaud and revere Adolf Hitler, and people who are known to have swastika tattoos. And despite Avi Yemeni, despite the fact he's Jewish, I think he actually served with the IDF, Israel Defense Force. It suited him to applaud these people because they were anti-Muslim. Now he tries to pretend now that never happened, but there's documentary evidence that it happened. And on top of that, like I said, quite severe domestic violence. He's a bad person, very bad person. But yes, that other stuff I was saying about the boy, the sad obsessive boy who created yet another YouTube account solely to post this comment that no one but me saw. Does anyone want to hear how sad and funny and obsessed this guy is. Oh, nice, Kirsten. They actually said, "Oh shit, I didn't know," and deleted the story. Yeah, look, anyone can make mistakes, and I know I personally have made it. I've seen something posted, and I've gone, "Ha ha!" I posted it, and someone said, "Do you know?" Blah, 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 blah. And I went, "I didn't know. I did not know. I didn't. I've never heard of this person. Oh shit!" It's like what's the whole that joke thing? Oh, it's a pixelated boat, a really fun, absurdist Twitter account did it. The milkshake duck. Yes, it's when you refer to someone being a milkshake duck, and this person with this really fun, absurdist Twitter uh, uh, stream has they said, "Oh, everyone loves milkshake duck." The lovable duck who can't stop drinking milkshakes. And then the next tweet is, "We regret to inform you the milkshake duck is a Nazi." Because that happens so often. Someone does something that's funny or quirky or whatnot, or right on, and you go, "Yeah, this person," and you don't know anything about them. And you're going, "Yeah, this person." And then you find out more about this person, and they're fucking horrible. That's called being a milkshake duck. Avi Yemeni's not a milkshake duck. He's just a piece of shit. But all right, so we're going to hear it for the lulz. Okay. I thought you all would like it. Now, I am probably going to skip over some stuff where this fucking loser just uses slurs because I am okay, which account is this? No, okay, I need to open another browser where I'm logged in. Don't update browser. Fuck you, Microsoft. What the fuck are you doing? Yes, I am live. New comment. Now, here's the fun one. This fucking loser posted it. This was a recent stream, like in the last week, where I said it's World Mental Health Day, so we only care about mental health today. So I'm going to read at least parts of this for you. And they go, "Wow, this stream's title is hypocrisy at its best. First, highlighting this dude is stupid as fuck and he doesn't know what hypocrisy means. Okay, each week, these sewer rats diagnose themselves with a new mental illness or disorder to try and have excuses for why they're all sexual." Sorry, again, the funny thing about this comment is the way this dude exposes all his sexual fantasies without realizing he's exposing all his sexual fantasies, and it really makes me laugh to read it. But anyway, they don't realize they're all predatory sex offenders who sexualize and groom unwary fans. The core group of fans on Angry's page are all seedy and creepy as fuck. To be fair, yes. Okay. They prey on people with intellectual spectrum or social difficulties by encouraging them to get wasted, blind, drunk, and drugged up during chat sessions. No, I never do that. I never encourage anyone. I get a bit drunk. I absolutely never encourage anyone else to. Their not so subtle intent is to get vulnerable and lonely people into private after party. This is this dude is so upset he's never been in an after party. He's obsessed about it. Well, it's all about sexual exploitation by this group of old fat. Okay, look, definitely. Okay, old fat weirdo. Yes, definitely. They work together as predators, using their off-screen backstage private discussion during on-screen streaming of hours of fake flattery, suggestions, manipulations, and eventually combined peer pressure with blatant requests for online sex acts. Now, see, that never happens. I'm kind of disappointed that never happens, but it never happens. Never give out any personal details, email or phone numbers these. Yeah, definitely. Never do that. Never do that on the internet in general. Never do that. Jesus. And here's my favorite one. He's super mad at Grasshopper. He comes up with this whole thing where he's super mad at Grasshopper. And I think Grasshopper would find this really funny that this guy is super mad at Grasshopper. He's known for paying fans for dollars for sexual acts that he can masturbate to. And again, the fact that he's really angry at Grasshopper, I find really funny. Now, okay. I've just got to throw it in here. What have I been missing in the chat? Oh yeah, no, yeah, Abigail, that's who it is, definitely. Now, okay, the following people are mentioned specifically. If you're not mentioned as being specifically one of the weird perverted weirdos, please don't feel bad. Oh no, it's local fucker. It's locus fucker Abigail. So if you're not specifically mentioned as being one of the perverted weirdos, please don't get angry. But he does mention a few people, which is fun. Apparently. Oh, and sorry, Abigail. Again, he refers to you and Abigail. This is going to be somewhere between mortifying and hilarious to you, but he does refer to you as my online wife. So, again, it's just an example of how not in touch with reality this dude is. But he refers to Abigail as my online wife, and the other particular bad people are Fox of Fate, Toby, Earthcrow, Safa, Nettie, and Megaleech. So you're all you're see Safa, you're mentioned. You're one of the worst ones, Safa. So oh yeah, Abigail, this is he actually created this YouTube thing solely to do this. Like the channel was created the same day he put this comment, which no one except me saw. So yes, so Safa, you're mentioned. Abigail, you're my online wife. I'm just saying he's not paying a lot of attention. That's all I'm saying. What else does he say that's actually funny? He's saying we want to catfish people for fetish sites. Look, honestly, maybe. He's saying we want other fans to join private chat to meet in person. Oh, okay. Apparently, people who join us in chat will be drugged and sexually exploited and photographed or filmed. I feel sad to say my life is actually much more boring than that. Technically, Abigail, because I pay you for tech support, I think that makes me your online sugar daddy. So I'm just saying. Saying the regular angry bunch are over the hill swingers. Sorry, it's just so funny. We're virtual online married to each other. And again, the fact this dude is so desperate, feeling like he's missing out, he thinks we spend hours a day doing online swinging with each other. Sorry. Again, this guy's desperation is just, it's so funny. And he's got this thing about people who we've exploited should submit a class action. He hangs out on the wrong Facebook groups. Oh my god, is there anything else that's funny on this? Oh, no, he reposted this. Sorry, he's actually admitting he reposted this because this is virtually a repost of a previous comment he made. You might remember me saying that I deleted a thing, and just as I hit delete, I said I should have. He's actually admitted he created a new account and reposted this because I said I wanted to share it. There you go. Says they only want subscriber numbers. It's not really. Oh, and the funniest thing is when he says that there's not many people watching the stream anyway. So it's like, well, you're one of them, you sad, desperate fucking loser. So that's basically it. Basically, this weird fuckwit spends a lot of time obsessing over stuff he's sure he's missing out on. And I just find that fucking hilarious. I think that is so funny, that he thinks there's so much. Abigail, I'll look. I'll copy and paste this to you. I'll copy and paste this to you so you can see the whole thing. It's fucked up, but swear to fucking God, this dude is so fucking obsessed that he's missing out on stuff, that he invents a bunch of stuff we're not doing because that's his fantasy and he thinks he's missing it. Yes, Safa, he's just frustrated. I hope, Safa, by the way, I hope you are happy that you were mentioned as one of the most depraved and disturbed people in the stream. So, oh man, this dude is so fucked up. He's so fucked up. Safa, you want to read it too? I guess I will. I'll try and remember. I'll just like send it to you. I'll copy and paste it to your messenger. It's just, my God, the dude is so fucked up. Again, I'm super worried for this guy that he spends so much time obsessing, and it's just like, dude, fucking what? Yes, Megaleash. Oh, okay. Celtic King is going to be very upset that he wasn't mentioned in the ranks of the depraved and disturbed. Yes. No, Celtic King will be very disturbed to be missed out on that. Next time he comes in, I'll have to tell him how he was missed out on that. Oh my God. Again, it's just so, and it's like this fucking essay length comment that this fucking loser created a new YouTube account solely to post that. And because posting really long comments automatically makes YouTube go, yeah, that's probably some bullshit. And so they automatically block it. So it never goes live. So no one sees it. So arguably, you could say I played into his hands by reading the highlights of it, but it was just too funny to not share. No, Safa VD never got a look in. He has a particular bugbear about Grasshopper, which I find amusing. And it's probably because Grasshopper in the past has been so strident about wanting to really fucking tear into this piece of shit. Because Grasshopper has no patience for that shit. Yes, Abigail. Oh, why haven't we seen Metal Maniac Matt after he got fucked up by him and his brother? The funniest, again. Oh God, it's too complicated. Is it too complicated to explain? Anyway, Metal Maniac Matt was the one who accidentally outed this guy. He just said to me one time, "Oh, I just found this thing where this guy's really fucking obsessed by you, and it's hilarious." And I looked, and we found out who it was because he ridiculously posted. Although this account had a different username, he posted a video where I pointed out when he was still in the chat. I said, "You're being a cunt, and you need to stop being a cunt." And so he outed who he was. So, okay. Always thought there was something wrong with that guy. Now I know what it was. So he's mad at Metal Maniac Matt for outing him. And what was funny is because various other people determined both, again, because this guy is fucking stupid. He is very fucking stupid. He posted a video where there was a continuous stream of video going out his front door and onto streets and into a busy, recognizable intersection. So other people worked out, because of how fucking stupid this guy is, they worked out both his home address and his real name from some other posts. And I actually just warned him. I said, dude, take this video down because you have told the world exactly where you live. What the fuck is it? And this is a guy who's just been a complete fucking asshole to me. But the fact that he actually posted this video that identified his exact home address, I just said to him, dude, you need to like get rid of that because it says what your home address is. And he goes, oh, I don't live there anymore. It's like, dude, you do still live there. You're fucking stupid. And when he posted this thing, obviously absolute bullshit, saying Metal Maniac Matt showed up at his home address, double barrel because it showed he's still obsessed about Metal Maniac Matt. But what he was admitting is he hasn't moved. He's still at that address that we know he lives, which incidentally, because the sad fucking loser keeps making up new accounts to watch the stream, on assuming he watches this at some point, like the fact that we know your real name and your real home address, you are, as the phrase goes, you often see this reported in the media, known to police. Multiple police reports have been submitted about you with your real name and your real home address, and what a fucking loser freak you are. So if you ever do something stupid, you're really fucked because you're already known to police. Mega Leech, I actually haven't checked if he removed that. He should have, because again, as much as I think he's a fucking loser and whatnot, it's just like, dude, no, don't put stuff on the internet that tells people your home address. What's wrong with you? I assume he removed it. He did this dumb thing where he said, oh, I've moved. No, you haven't, because you're really fucking dumb. And the Metal Maniac Matt thing he posted essentially proved he hadn't moved, because the only way, and not that Metal Maniac Matt did show up at his home address, but the only way Metal Maniac Matt would show up at his home address is if he'd never moved. The guy's a fucking moron. He is so fucking stupid. But yeah, he is, as the saying goes, known to police. Who's bemoaning? Kirsten, you're bemoaning. You're not a Kirsten. You're not a deviant. Chris is not a deviant. Oh. If it helps, gang, in my heart, you're all deviants. I'm just throwing it out there. You're all deviants in my heart. So, but that's a positive term in my in my world. Oh God, Abigail, him and his UFO videos. I don't know. Jesus, he's such a fucking weirdo. See, Chris, I knew you'd appreciate that. In my heart, you're a deviant. Because I don't really have a lot of people who in mind who aren't deviants. Oh yeah, no, Kirsten, that thing again. The dude's a fantasist, saying yes. I'm aware of the fact he posted a video saying he followed, because as I've referenced living in the Caulfield area, so he said, you saw me at Caulfield Station. Dude, I haven't fucking gone to work for 18 months. Yeah, no, Kirsten, it's creepy that he would make up the story that he did it, but it's also not true, because I haven't taken the train to work in 18 months, longer now. So he just made it up because he thought he'd freak me out. And it's like, dude, really? Dude. Dude, he's so fucking sad. He's so fucking sad. So yes, you don't need to worry about that, Kirsten. Like, yeah, it would have been sad if he did it, but it's not true. The dude is a fantasist. It's weird and sad and pathetic. But yeah, he posts various videos about things that never happened. Oh, he also has a fantasy that he's in direct communication with friendly Geordies. It's just sad. It's just fucking sad, basically. So yes, I just thought I'd indulge myself for a little period and make fun of the fucking loser. And one of the reasons, and because there have been multiple police reports submitted about this guy because he says stupid shit, and one of the reasons is because Mrs. Angry, who keen listeners will remember is a psychologist and counselor, I showed her posts by this guy and went, nope, something fucked up's going on there. You should absolutely make the police aware of what this guy's doing. So, because a mental health professional said the police should be made aware of this guy and what he's doing. I said, okay. So again, he's very stupid. So that's the thing. If he ever fucks up about literally anything that gets the police involved, when they look into him, they're going to find police reports about him. And it's like, so you could do something really minor that the cops would normally ignore, but when they look you up and go, oh, no, there are multiple reports about you. So this stupid motherfucker has just done such stupid shit. If it ever blows up in his face, it's his fucking fault for being such a stupid fucking prick, quite honestly. C'est la vie, as the French say. And that is literally how the French say it. Do not believe anyone who says otherwise. Because the French do what I say. And I say, the French say about such things, c'est la vie. To quote the great Ned Kelly, his reputed words upon being handed a death sentence. Such is life. Who knows if he really said that? History is stories that people made up and recorded at various times, and things we take to be true may or may not be true. Thank you, Abigail, for backing up my flawless pronunciation. I'm actually going to I think I've shared this before, but real story. Growing up in Dubbo, middle of fucking nowhere. Okay. Some high school friends of mine were doing French by correspondence because we did not have a French teacher at the school. They were doing French by correspondence, and they were nerdy swats, and they studied all the grammar and stuff really closely. And they were getting like 100% in written tests on French. They were getting it perfect. And there was this thing where the various people who were doing this correspondence met up at a intensive sort of language camp in Sydney. And everyone else there had in-person French teachers who were teaching them pronunciation. My friends who were doing it at school by text had no one teaching them pronunciation. And so they were literally saying things like, when people were saying, how do you say this sentence? They were saying things like, c'est la vie, parles vous français. And everyone's going, what the fuck? We thought you were the smart ones. What? And they're going, what? And then people started explaining pronunciation to them. And it's like, God damn. Abigail, she's saying, yes, okay, such is life, reputed to be Ned Kelly's last words before the gallows opened up. Which he might have said. He was... Ned Kelly was reputed to be quite lyrical in his language. There are the famous letters he wrote that seem very weird because they have no punctuation. So Ned Kelly, when you look at these, he knew language very well. He was very good at speaking. Being Irish, his speech was very poetic, but in written language, he didn't know punctuation. So when he writes stuff, it looks like quite crazy stream of consciousness stuff. But if you put the punctuation in, it all makes perfect sense and is actually quite lyrical, which reflects Ned Kelly's Irish heritage. And yes, Safa, Glenrowan is still a tiny town. That was where the Glenrowan was where the final siege of the Kelly gang happened, where Ned put his famous suit of armor on. The thing that not everyone knows is when the Kelly gang were holed up at Glenrowan, they knew the Vic police was coming, and they'd actually dug up a section of the train track. And so this whole fucking cohort of Vic police were going to show up on a train, and because the Kelly gang had ripped up the tracks, the train would derail and kill most, if not all, of the police on it. And that literally would have changed history if that had worked. If that train with the Vic police had crashed and killed most, if not all, the cops on it, that would have changed history. But the Kelly gang were in this town. Most of the people were on their side. They had these people as hostages in a pub, but most of them were on board with the Kelly gang, and they let this one guy go, who actually got on a horse and shot off down the track and got ahead of the bit where the rails ripped up, and with a lantern and waved down the train and got it to stop and said, "You have to stop because the trains have been ripped up." And yes, Abigail, good point. Any event changes history. But this one thing, the difference between the Kelly gang getting killed and or captured and not getting captured, would have had the capacity to radically change Australian history. Who knows whether for the better or the worse. But for whatever it is, the train was not derailed. The Vic Pol weren't killed. The Kelly gang were killed or captured. And stuff went on its merry way. But the Kelly gang could, if they had killed like a big chunk of Vic Pol, they could have led an insurrection to overthrow the government, which could have radically changed Australian history. We of course will never know, unless multiverse theory is proved to be correct and we find a way to move between the multiverses and we find a multiverse where the Kelly gang won and we see how different it is. Who knows? But that was a critical point. That was a critical point. If stuff had gone differently, the potential change to Australian history would have been radical. I mean, another one would have been the Eureka Stockade. If the insurrection at the Eureka Stockade had succeeded rather than being defeated, that could have had a radical effect on Australian history. Who knows? Who freaking knows? We have variables every second of every day, which is kind of why I've enjoyed the animated Marvel series, What If, because there had been Marvel comics for decades called What If, where they posit a thing like, what if a fundamental moment in the Marvel universe had happened in completely the opposite way? What effect would that have? I know the animated things which are on Disney Plus, the Marvel What If, have got mixed reviews. I've quite enjoyed them. I've quite liked watching them. Safa, was Ned Kelly around the same time as Eureka Stockade? Broadly, yes. But let's get exact dates. Eureka Stockade. Eureka Stockade happened in 1854. 1854, remember that? Ned Kelly execution. 1870. So, okay. They were within 40 years of each other. Mid 1800s. There you go. Abigail, you used to read What If comics in the 80s and 90s. And yes, there was some. And yeah, oh God, the what the. Yes, because the What If comics were really popular. So then Marvel put out these really absurd comedic ones called What the. Yes. Oh my God, I'd forgotten those, Abigail. Yes, the What the comics were very weird because they just took absurdist comedic takes on the Marvel universe. I'm trying to think some other weird. I've got in a box somewhere ones like The Punisher kills the Marvel Universe. And that's a really interesting string of comics. So, for those who don't know The Punisher, the reason The Punisher exists is he's a cop or he's an investigator, and his family are killed by a mobster, which just makes him go really psycho angry and wanting to kill a bunch of criminals. In this alternate history comics, the Punisher kills the Marvel Universe. The Punisher's family are actually killed in collateral damage when the X-Men are fighting some baddies with all their powers going pow, 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 pow in an explosion caused in the battle. The Punisher's family are killed, which gives him this revenge thing where he just wants to kill all the superheroes in the Marvel Universe. Fun series of comics. Kirsten, husband smashed a whiskey glass. And as Abigail says, lucky he didn't do it on camera in a live stream, because that would be super embarrassing. That line is never going to get old, because I've done it. I've smashed a glass on a live stream. And on New Year's Eve, when Nettie and Abigail were here, who do we blame? I'm not sure if Nettie's still here, so I think we'll blame Nettie for smashing a glass on the live stream on New Year's Eve. Because it's just a fucking thing that happens. If you have a bunch of drinks, a glass is going to get broken. That's just the way it works. Oh no, Kirsten, was a really fancy IKEA glass. But you can go to IKEA tomorrow and get more. Nice. I have not looked at IKEA glassware in the longest time. Oh my god, the fucking classiest glassware I've bought in forever is from the Bitters Lab in across the road from where Abigail lives. They do these. They have some glasses that have this beautiful lace work etched on them. So I've got these martini glasses. It's probably not showing up really. Put it there. You might be able to see there's lace work etched on this martini glass. So I have martini glasses and Nick and Nora glasses that I got from the Bitters Lab with that lace work etched on them, and they're super beautiful. That was one of the ones that got broken on New Year's Eve, a Nick and Nora glass with the beautiful lace work on it. But anyway, that's the thing that happens. And IKEA is pretty fucking good for glassware, honestly. I've not been to IKEA in for fucking ever. Maybe when retail opens up again, maybe I'll mark the reopening of retail by going to IKEA. Except I don't have any room. Even getting all my glassware, there's one shelf on the drink carts there that's dedicated to glassware, and they're all different shapes and sizes. And being able to have all the glassware there at the one time is a real fucking Tetris thing I have to do, because they're different heights and stuff. And tall ones, I can fit shorter ones under the. It's a whole fucking Tetris thing to get all my glassware on the shelf of the drink cart at the same time, and I don't always get it right. So I don't actually have any room for any more glassware. As much as IKEA does have good glassware, I don't have any more. I like that, Safa. Do you have to put IKEA glassware together yourself? That's the one thing you don't have to put together at IKEA. But yeah. Yeah, I don't have space. I don't know. There's a big lotto thing this week. Maybe if I win a big lotto, I'll go and buy a big house, and the more I think about it, I'd really like a home bar. I don't really have a home bar. I'm here in the kitchen. I've got the drink carts over here, and I can make drinks here. But the idea of having, when I think about it, because I was watching a video on YouTube today, these guys who have a home tiki bar, and that's kind of cute. Home tiki bars, it's not my thing. A home bar for me would abso-fucking-lutely be a speakeasy. My home bar would be a speakeasy. I'd have a bar and the stuff, and there'd be all this nice sort of leather seating, like armchairs and lounges and shit. And it wouldn't be big. I just want a place where I could have anywhere from half a dozen to a dozen. I don't want a big thing. I want something that holds half a dozen to a dozen people. Just a home speakeasy bar. I do that. So, Abigail wants a flat pack Swedish girlfriend from IKEA. That's probably a thing they have. That is probably a thing they have, quite honestly. Surely that's the thing they have. Yes. So yes, if I have if I win lotto, I'll buy a home somewhere, and I have a speakeasy. Actually, no, I'd have two. Now I think of it, I'd have if I because I think there's like I'll have to remember to buy a ticket because there's one thing. Oh look, there's a lotto. Oh, I didn't buy a ticket. That's right. There's like a $60 million lotto this week or something, which I'm obviously not going to win. Obviously not going to. It's not nothing. But again, absurd multiverse thing. If I won a thing like that, I'd probably have my home, and I'd definitely build a speakeasy bar on my home. And I think I'd get an apartment in the city that I'd let Aidsy live in and look after, but it'd be a place where I could crash if I was out in the city. And I want that to have a nice view, and there'd be some sort of bar in that. And then maybe a waterfront apartment as well, like a waterfront penthouse apartment house. I don't know. Also with a bar. Just saying, that's probably my decadent thing. So, Kirsten, you've been to the second oldest IKEA in the world in Stockholm. Micro, you not only missed the start, you've just got here for the last 5 minutes, my friend. But it is very nice to see you. We've just got into the stage where we're talking about IKEA, and I'm talking about home bars. Oh, and you can't go to the oldest one because they demolished it. So technically, the one you went to is the oldest. It's the oldest existing one. It's not the first. I assume you mean it's the second, but it's the oldest existing one. So don't think I've even been to the oldest IKEA in Australia, for that matter. Actually, I probably have. It's probably in Sydney, and I probably went to it. I don't know. Oh, Michael, you're just about to leave work. Well, it's nice of you to drop in, man. Nice to see you. But yeah, just been doing the chilling and whatnot on a Sunday night as we approach bedtime. Of course, I won't be doing a stream tomorrow night. We're doing a TV watching night with Mrs. Angry. Now we've got into the Netflix series Sex Education, and we're really enjoying it. And all it's made me do is when I finally got to watching it, and we enjoy it so much, it's like, why the fuck did it take me so long to watch this? It's got Gillian Anderson in it. Why didn't I automatically watch a show that had Gillian Anderson in it? But anyway, watching it now, we're still in season 1, and there's 3 seasons. So we get to sort of binge watch that over the next couple of weeks. We watch 3, just depending when we start watching. We watch 3 or 4 episodes a night. We're still in season 1, but we're both really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. So we're watching Sex Education tomorrow night. Probably will be live for a live stream on Tuesday. Ainsley messaged me yesterday wanting to be on a live stream on Saturday night, but Saturday night was date night, so I didn't do it. I didn't hear from him today. I thought I'd hear from him today, but I didn't. So I'll see if we can get him for Tuesday night, maybe. It depends what's happening in AZ World, of course. But Murray, thanks for the word of caution about drop bears, micro USB. We do need to remain vigilant about drop bears. Oh, is it Gillian Anderson? Did I say Gillian? And you're saying it's Gillian. I thought she pronounced it Gillian. I am willing to be corrected, and it's Gillian. Music later being let out next weekend. I think next weekend in the CBD is going to be out of control. So I won't be going out on Friday or Saturday night because it'll just be out of control. Might do something on the weekend, but not going out on Friday. So don't. Abigail, you don't actually know. Yeah, I'm not sure how she pronounces it. Um, I, I'd leave it up to her. Honestly, there's a lot I'd leave up to her, including whether she wears high-heeled boots and steps on me. That would be completely at her discretion, quite honestly. A live stream at your place while you do tech support. I do actually need some tech support on my fucking PC. I could bring it over. Maybe next weekend. But that's something we need to do at some point. We need to do a stream from your place at some point, definitely. Put a pin in that and we'll work out exactly when to do it. But we definitely will do it because that's a thing we can do. We'll work out exactly when we do that. Yeah, have a think about it. I mean, that would be a good Friday night party, quite honestly. Whether we do it next Friday or another Friday, that would be a good Friday night party. We'll see. We'll see. That's the thing we should converse about. But either ways, and again, if sad fuck sees that about us planning stuff, oh my God, just more stuff for him to obsess about and be sad that he's missing out on. But anyway, going to go to bed now. So thank all you fine people for joining in this evening. It has, as always, been a pleasure to spend a bit of time in your company. But I'm going to go to bed now. We'll see you all another time. Do take care because we still live in weird, fucked up times. Hopefully stuff gets less weird. Or not less weird because I like weird. Hopefully shit gets less fucked up as time goes forward. And we'll continue to have happy lives. So